Okay, so chapter 3 of submission. And the subtopic here would be when not to submit. I think this is going to be a little bit more popular than the last two. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's say that you are adopting this submission concept. For a lot of my Christian ladies out there, this will not be a foreign concept to you. But you need to know when to not submit. So let's explore those cases. Now, in general, when not to submit, it should be common sense, but lines get blurred and some women are faithful and loyal to a fault. So we're going to talk about some things and some times when it's okay not to do what he says. Don't submit if you have a Bonnie and Clyde situation. Don't rob the bank. Don't become a thief. Don't be the Bonnie to his Clyde. Okay, so theft is obviously something that's a clear concept of not to follow your husband into. Your fiance, your boyfriend, he wants you to do that thing. Don't do that thing. It's not worth it. Another situation. If you have an Ike and Tina situation, when you got that abuse going on and he takes great pleasure in laying his hands on you, obviously, don't submit to him. Don't eat that cake, Annabelle. If submission to your other half is about inferiority and superiority, if it's about who's on the top and who's on the bottom, if it's about who wins and who loses, that's not real submission. That's a falsified version of a deluded man. Okay, so let's say you have a situation a little bit more biblical. Another good couple to go with, for an example, would be Nabal and Abigail. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this as short as possible, this relationship explanation. Nabal, his name actually meant fool. So, she was married to a fool by definition. And this story is found in 1 Samuel 25, chapter 25. And Abigail, she's actually described as a beautiful woman with a great understanding. So basically what happened was David was hiding out. He was on the run because the king at the time wanted to kill him, and he needed food and aid while he was on the run. And he came to Abigail and Nabal, and Nabal said, "You can't have any food from us. We won't help you." And obviously, this is a dumb move from Nabal because David, he may be David at the time, but he was soon to be King David. And King David would remember Nabal, revoking him in his time of need. And he wanted Abigail to follow suit. Not the time to submit. Now, Abigail understood this. And of course, the rule at the time was you submit unto your husbands, you follow his lead, you all come to a compromise. Abigail knew this compromise could get her killed. So she was not here for that. So she helped David in secret. So needless to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, she gave David, King David, soon to be, gave him and his men food and aid while they had to lay low and stay under the radar. Now, Abigail may have been in direct disobedience to Nabal, her current husband, but God rewarded her for rewarding and giving unto the next king, which would be King David. Just because the husband says it doesn't always mean it lines up with the word of God. He would only know if he would have asked God. You see, submission only works if the husband submits unto God. And the Bible promises that the wife would submit unto the husband if the husband submits under God. And for him to lead his household in the right direction, he would need to have a relationship with God. He would need to consult the Lord. So Nabal failed in that department. And as a result, the Lord allowed Nabal to be killed. And Miss Abigail was allowed to marry King David. And she upgraded and she became queen. Ooh, those loopholes and roles, they do matter. There's a few husbands, boyfriends, fiancés that I can think of that tried to lead their wives down a road that directly contradicted the law, directly contradicted the word of God, directly led them down a detrimental path. So let's roll that list off, shall we? The detriment. Envy. The husband. Francis Underwood. The detriment. Pride. The fiancé. The joker. The detriment. Greed. The husband. Francis Underwood. The detriment. Lust. The husband, well, he never married her, or at least he hasn't yet. A lot of you probably know the show, Lucifer Morningstar on Channel FX. Yeah, him. Let him see you, Lucifer. Well, hello, lucky audience. Lucifer here. Lucifer Morningstar. Alright, now that we got that over with, the next detriment. You got to be kidding me. You want to show your other face. You never want to show your other face. You freaked when the detective found it. Are you sick? So unprofessional. Here he is again, guys. Which face do you like better, huh? Which one? Okay. Now, back to my scheduled programming. The the detriment, gluttony, the fiance, Dexter Morgan. Just couldn't get enough of that blood, could he? Looks like we have a few other repeat offenders. So, before I was so rudely slowed down by you-know-who, let's see if this list can get a little faster. Okay, here we go. The detriments are wrath, coveting, and stealing. The fiancé is the Joker. Amazes me every time just how much he doesn't care. But see why he's a repeat offender. The detriments are idolatry in various forms, especially if you go through biblically. And those will be found in Exodus 20:3 and Exodus 20 verse 4. Also, this husband is responsible for using the Lord's name in vain. Quite proudly, might I add. Shame. Come on, my southern gentlemen, let them see you once again. And we do have a wild card. May he rest in peace, but Henry VIII of the show, that Henry, The Tudors. Oh, and his detriment? Adultery. He was married to a lot of women, and a few of those women, because he cheated, they decided to cheat. You don't want to submit unto a husband that provokes a woman to cheat. So, in short, this video wasn't short at all, was it? But I'm trying to make sure I leave no stone unturned. So, as of now, there will be another chapter on submission. But this video, know when not to submit. When he's leading you down a path that's clearly just wrong, you obviously don't submit to that man. It should be common sense. You just don't. And if he's leading you down a path, for all of my Christian women out there, and you know that it goes against the Bible, you know what he wants you to do or what he's trying to coax you to do does not line up with the Word of God, you don't have to submit, because if he was right, it would line up with the Word of God in the first place. Submission is not a bad word. Submission is not a word of profanity. To submit to a man should be a relief to a woman if he's leading correctly. Yeah, sometimes we're going to have to compromise and do things that we don't really want to do, but it should not lead you down a path that's clearly wrong. And if you're not sure if that path is clearly wrong, if what he wants you to do is clearly wrong, then you have to pray. If you're a Christian, ladies, you know, we go to God in prayer with humility, and we get our questions answered.